In the latest chapter of One Piece 1158 called Rocks vs. Herald, we got some new information about actually God Valley, and I wanted to talk about God Valley for a little bit, guys. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go for it. In the latest chapter, it says, fast forward a little. Holy Land Merijoa, 40 years ago, we have basically a discussion going on in between the Gorosei and the Divine Knight House Figureland Saint Garling, which is also one of the future Gorosei, after, Saint Saturn kind of messed up and got himself. But basically, we get a discussion, just like I said, in between the Gorosei and Saint Garling. And somebody is telling him, are you impatient, Saint Garling? The last tournament ended not too long ago. And he's like, yes. While I was dealing with something else, I ended up staying on that island for a while. What he is actually saying from this scene is that he stayed actually on an island for a certain period of time, and that island, from speculations, is God Valley, basically. Because timeline-wise, when it comes to 40 years ago, literally it is super close to the next time that they are basically planning the tournament, where they basically, do some crazy stuff to people and kill people left and right, just so that they can get some points. Like those kind of tournaments, the Celestial Dragons are organized. That is basically the worst side of humanity in One Piece. And I'm probably guessing that, for example, side note, Monkey D. Dragon must have seen all of that go through, and he couldn't do actually anything to help those people. And that's why he actually probably was like, you know what? Peace out. I'm gonna go and create a revolution because this is bullshit. But back to the chapter, he's like, this nation, it was an unaffiliated country living by its own culture. I even tried to talk to them into joining the world government. However, they would not budge, but their resources were rich and insanely valuable to us. On top of that, I stumbled across something incredible, a discovery way beyond anything I expected. And just from this one again, you go like, okay, so he understands that that nation is not affiliated to the world government, and he basically went to the king and all of that country, and he was like, hey, how about you join the world government and you pay a tribute to the Celestial Dragons, and on the counterpart, we'll protect you guys. And the king of God Valley and all of that, he was like, you know what? We're good. We don't need your help. And that's from where he's like, yeah, they wouldn't even budge. But he also understood that the resources they had, for example, the resources in diamonds, gold, maybe gas, oil, whatever you can think of, maybe they had, and that's why they were like, yeah, it would be actually very profitable to the world government and the Celestial Dragons to go and take whatever is in there, because trust me, there's a lot to take. That's basically what he said. And he also discovers something way beyond anything expected. So something way beyond anything you can expect. We're not even talking about a treasure. We're talking about something secret, something like a secret treasure, or something so big that when you found it, you're like, yeah, this is not to be in the hands of anybody, because this is a lot of power or this is a lot of money. That's the only choices. And in the last case in here, he says, surely your excellency will be pleased. I strongly recommend the next tournament in 2 years be held at God Valley. And so basically he's saying that the next tournament should be in God Valley in 2 years, for basically just the purpose of killing everybody, stealing everything they can steal, and at the same time maybe get rid of all the evidence that was in there, because we still don't know who per se sunk all of God Valley to the underwater, basically. And for example, when you just think of the secret treasures that were in the competition in God Valley, we think, of course, For example, the way rocks got brought and the way Goldie Roger got brought also to God Valley was because of Shaki. So the prize for them was Shaki. Then the prize of the Celestial Dragons was, of course, those boxes, those treasure boxes. And in those treasure boxes, you had, from what we know, we already had two very strong devil fruit powers. We had one. We had the devil fruit power that that Kuma actually had, the pawpaw fruit, and we all know how strong and powerful that devil fruit was. And we also had the devil fruit power that Kaido actually had, and we all know how strong that dragon was. And from all of that secret treasure, we have also, so in total of all of those secret treasure, we have 6 boxes, and we just know 2 of them, and we don't know about 4 of them. But at the same time, Saint Garland is saying what he's saying in a way that it leads us to think that it's something way bigger than even just a treasure, basically. Because just like I understand, God Valley is full of riches. But why? And why specifically on God Valley? That tells me that maybe God Valley has something like a source that gives all of those riches and all of those resources to God Valley, for example. And all of those resources and all of that might come from what, for example? It might come from an ancient weapon. Maybe an ancient weapon is actually buried in there, and that secret weapon throughout time actually started to get its roots to all of the island where it was, and actually populated with rich resources and riches and all of that. Maybe. But if we're talking maybe about like gold, emeralds and diamonds and all of that stuff, those kind of resources, maybe they come from a specific type of material that's already in the soil of the ground of God Valley, for example. And just like we go back to Jaya 400 years ago, for example, when all of the trees got hit by a mysterious disease, and those trees now were capable of making everybody die basically on the island. So you understand that that power is coming from the roots that are in the ground. So maybe something is in the ground and that's basically going to the trees, and that's what's making all of that poison so that everybody dies basically. And so same process as in God Valley probably. So maybe something is in the ground, and that something is in the ground is populating all of the soil and all of the ground on God Valley, and that's what makes a lot of richness everywhere and a lot of resources basically everywhere. But what is actually deeper inside? I believe, this is my theory, I don't believe, oh, people are saying, yes, the secret treasure is maybe the burial of Joy Boy, or maybe it is actually a secret weapon, or maybe it's actually like a secret clan that we don't even know about yet that got buried over there or something. Maybe, but I don't think so yet. But what I just believe, maybe over there what they found is that the soil or the ground, like underneath it, there is actually that liquid or that material or something that makes the component for the Mother Flame weapon that Dr. Vegapunk actually created for the world government, the Celestial Dragons, and Immuno. So that's what I believe. I believe the resources and the components for the Mother Flame are what actually Saint Garling found in God Valley. You let me know, guys, if this theory is right or no. You let me know down in the comments below. We'll talk about it all. And I will see you guys in the next one. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Peace.